Well, this week was a whirlwind. Hi guys, welcome back to Casting Commons, the show where we talk and discuss all things Pauper. I am your host, Teasdale, and this is my co-host, the Open the Gates himself, Reese.
Hello. I wonder if we've got some court gate files in the challenges.
Nope. No spoilers. Before we start, please do not forget to support us by rating us 5 stars on Spotify, following us on Twitter at CastingCommons1 for the most recent Pauper deck lists, and of course, subscribing to us on YouTube. How are you doing? How was your event?
Yeah, good. Obviously 3 of us went down to the Recollect winner box that was this weekend just gone. It was fun. Got to play some Pauper outside the local F&M scene, which is always nice. I ended up taking elves and scrubbed out in the finals, sadly, after not losing a single game all day against some horrible matchups like Gardens and Blue-Red Scred in the Swiss, and then lost the Blue-Red Scred rematch in the finals, unfortunately. But yeah, it was a really good event. Nice to go down to. I just wish it was slightly closer because it is an absolute trek for us. But
yeah, it's a good place though. To be fair, Recollect's good store, and also the area is pretty banging.
Yeah, definitely. It was Death by Tacos downstairs was definitely made it worth it.
Always good when you get good food. To be fair. So we're gonna do a Pauper thought, of course, this week. Just in case you didn't know, Turtles or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is gonna be a theme for today's episode. I hope you like my singing. The whole set was fully spoiled, so we have all the commons from both the original, like the normal standard set, and then also the I'm assuming the Commander precons. They have a different icon. Yeah. I'm guessing the precons, but we'll sort of touch on that a bit in a little bit. So, but mainly we want to highlight some cards to sort of, we think, Reese thinks some of them aren't noteworthy, but I do. I like to noteworthy them. But yeah, we're going to talk about some cards, basically. So I don't know if you want to take it away in any particular order.
Yes. Although it's the same number of cards as Spider-Man, right? They're definitely... the main set is, I believe.
All right.
They definitely haven't phoned it in, like they phoned in Spider-Man. Like there's some of these cards, I would say, are pretty certain to see play because they just seem ridiculously pushed.
I think on that vein, surely if just as a random like tangent there, isn't that probably due to the fact that Spider-Man was never it was designed as a small set and then they went, oh crap, let's put it in standard. But then I'm guessing this set was always a small set but designed with standard in mind. So then that's probably naturally up the power level.
Spider-Man wasn't supposed to be draftable, right?
Yeah, and that as well. Yeah, of course.
So it didn't have commons and uncommons. I guess this one's sort of being designed with that in mind.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a good thing for those people that like limited. And it's a bad thing for those people who don't want to see universes beyond in Pauper because you're going to be getting attacked by Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Extracting you from the feel of magic, but hey go. The first one that looks really, really good is Leonardo Big Brother, the quality naming of a Magic the Gathering card. It's 2 and a white for a legendary creature, Mutant Ninja Turtle, as is the type line for like 60% of the set. 1/3 with Sneak, which is basically ninjutsu, right?
Yeah, the main thing is it's not part, like the return in the creature's not part of the cost, and also Sneak is cast, so you can counter a card with Sneak.
Oh, okay. So it's a fixed ninjutsu.
Yeah.
It like removes the awkwardness of ninjutsu.
Yeah. So Sneak on uncommons and rares and stuff can be spells because they are cast.
Yeah.
That's kind of the idea.
But yeah, so a 3 mana 1/3 Sneak of a single white, so a massive cost reduction, which is also a good sign on a common. And then he gets +1/+4 for each other creature you control. So he's sort of just a massive guy that comes in unblocked for 1 mana. I guess like the initial thought like that everyone's had for this guy is, oh, it just goes in white weenie because it's sort of the obvious place. But I've seen quite a bit of discussion on like a old blue white glitters shell with like the ninjas, and obviously you've got ornithopters and gingerbrutes and stuff like that. So having this as a glitters-esque slot is quite cool. You've got a lot of creatures that will be unblocked, and you've got a lot of fodder to have in play to make him big.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty interesting one, right? Obviously, the main thing about White Weenie, I'm probably not that high on it in White Weenie, right? You do go wide, but you often don't go wide enough. It's like it's a good point of burst, which is sort of fine. Like obviously, like if you're getting 4 or 5 damage off one guy for 1 mana, sure, it's great. But overall, I think it's fine. It's nothing too crazy. I do think there is an interesting point for the, as you said, like the glitters is probably where it might shine. Especially with the other ninjas that can ninja it back as well, or you know, there's play to it. Yeah, you can snap it as well, and so like, do you know what I mean? There's play to it in that sort of shell. Which
I think the white weenie sort of initial thought, it looks a lot better if you evolve white weenie, I guess, a little. So if you go back to a white weenie with stuff like militia bugler that can grab it and attack pretty freely into a lot of stuff. Like, you don't have to worry about it, like, just throwing this 2-3 vigilance in, because most stuff's either going to chump it or just bounce. And then Squadron Hawk as well gives you another sort of avenue to a 2-mana attacker that is harder to block. But like White Weenie at the moment, with just like a bunch of Thraben Inspectors, you're just going to be relying really heavily on either late game a Battle Screech token or a Core Skyfisher. Because everything else you've got will just get eaten on the floor. Like, you'll just be throwing, like, say you've got a couple of inspectors, you'll just be throwing 1 or 2 of them away to get this guy in, and then he hits for a bit, but then he's worse because you've just lost 3 guys to try and attack him in.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. It's like, it seems like a good burst damage and a good, like, mid to late game tool, right, in that sort of shell, and it's sort of okay. But yeah, I think it's an okay card in the deck, but I probably am not going to be blown away by it in White Weenie, compared to, like, as you say, something like Glitterless Glitters.
What did that used to be? Was it Brute Squad or something like that?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
That type of thing.
Yeah, that's...
Maybe though, a blue-white affinity, or as we'll get onto, there's another card for blue affinity stuff, but like a more aggressively slanted, like Brute Squad style, but like Frog Mites and the new card and stuff like that. And it could be a potential as well.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, right? Because obviously, like, the sort of glitters shell of blue-white obviously leaned heavily on the creatures making the fodder as well, and obviously the glitters getting included with the fodder. Obviously, this only being creatures obviously does tone it down a bit, which obviously isn't a bad thing. Like, toning it down from all that glitters is definitely not a bad discussion to be having. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. That will likely be tested, right? For sure. The next one, I don't have this in any order. There we are. Is we're going to talk about is Oroku Saki Shredder Rising. Have I said that right? Apologies if I have not. This is for 2 and a black for a legendary creature, another legendary creature. Human ninja, so no turtle this time. It is a 3/1 with sneak for 1 and a black, and then it's whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card and lose a life. So this is like black sort of
Ninja of the Deep Hours.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just going to be the same with all these Universes Beyond sets, but like the biggest thing that drags all of these down is they're just all legendary. Like everything is fucking legendary. So you like look at this. If this was just a normal creature, you could be like, oh, I really want this in blue-black phase, like Deep Hours 5 through 8. But like as soon as you put more than 2 in, you're just sort of in an awkward position. Same with the Leonardo, like it's a card that you want 4 of, but it's legendary. So like, yeah, I don't know. Just UB problems, I guess.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to accept your deck building issues, but on the plus side, we don't die a cast down and we make ourselves happy. Yeah.
But no, I do like this card. Yeah, it does seem legit. Like you said, not dying to cast down is relevant. It's black as well, so it doesn't die its snuff out either. 1 toughness, not the greatest. Like Ninja of the Deep Hours having 2 toughness over like Moonsucker Hacker having 1 is quite relevant. But this is black, so you could play it in a a deck that doesn't run blue at all in a mono black sort of version.
Yeah. There's it is a pretty interesting one, right? Because like there's all sorts of different stuff. Like there's random black ninjas now, like that there's been a few of. Like obviously there's the Mukutoi Ambusher and like Changeling Outcast sort of stuff as well. You know, like there's that sort of way we could take it because there's that many black ninjas as well. Like we've gained. There's the Okiba gang and all that sort of stuff. You could probably make some janky ass mono black ninjas deck and all have like this one seems obviously very strong in comparison to.
Yeah, and there's quite a lot of black creatures that you wouldn't mind picking up. Like Refurbished Familiar is obviously the main one that springs to mind of a evasive creature that you would happily reset and get an extra card out of. Yeah, cool card.
100%.
The next one is a Raphael Tough Turtle.
He's very tough. Look at it.
Honest. I just can't with this set at all. It's a 1 and a red for a 1/3, another legendary creature, Mutant Ninja Turtle. And he has a static ability that whenever another creature you control enters, he deals 1 damage to target opponent. Spicy.
Very spicy.
Molten Gatekeeper. Extra copies, I guess.
Yeah, like there's obviously like 2 decks that come to mind for this. Obviously the first one being Dredge, going off on Marza Boy's sort of conversations of, you know, Molten Gatekeeper's really good. They've tried Impact Tremors before, being a creature, like fits the game plan, all that sort of stuff. Like it just obviously it's a guy that they must kill in Dredge while you're just doing your game plan.
Both versions as well, like Mono Red Dredge, this also seems like pretty legit when you discard and root wallers and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Seems pretty cool.
Killing people out of nowhere with this and Gatekeeper easily. And the other deck that sort of springs to mind is like the green-red Tremors deck, right? That already runs... Already runs Impact Tremors, already runs Molten Gatekeeper. It's sort of similar vein to like the like Mono Red Madness sort of stuff. It's got Gatekeepers and like stuff that makes loads of tokens, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't
but it's better because it can attack in a deck like that. You can pump it and attack.
Exactly.
One I was thinking about is it looks like a Kessick Flame Breather that Rally Red can play, which I thought was quite cool. Or maybe even Sly. Obviously, Sly, you run out of cards a lot faster. But no, it's like if you can curve this into like Emissary Rally, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
But again, legendary, so it doesn't die to cast down, but you don't really like it's a card that in like Mono Red Dredge, for example, you would want 4, but it's legendary. So you're probably going to be on 2 and 4 Gatekeepers rather than 4 and 4.
Not 3, but yeah, pretty sweet card. Bar the name and conventions, as you've already
and set.
The next one is a pretty interesting one for me, anyways. Is Sewer Valence Cam, which what a great name! What a great name! And this is a blue artifact for just a blue pip. It has flash, and when this artifact enters or leaves the battlefield, you may tap or untap target creature, and then you can pay 3 in a blue, sack this artifact to draw 2 cards. It's definitely an interest, like the card, the fact that it says enters or leaves, on most cards that say enters or leaves is generally obviously a big pull for it. It creates, I don't want to say a new combo deck because it's not necessarily new as such, because it's basically just Retraction Helix combo, which previously was like Steel Fin Whale. But because this card alone does enters and leaves, you can basically combo it with Retraction Helix, and anything that makes a single blue pip is like infinite bounce, which is pretty interesting. So like you can play with an Arbor Elf untapping a Tangled Islet, you can enchant a land with a blue bridge with Kenku or whatever, and then that's now goes infinite bounce and stuff like that, which provides a lot of like interest and utility, right? Just in general, like you could be playing blue-black Affinity, and then you just have this card in your deck, and it sort of can win out of nowhere. You could put this in Steel Fin Whale if you really wanted to as well, like, and just ultra combo off.
Yeah,
it's pretty interesting.
I think especially in those sort of decks as well, like it's not no text either. Like it's part of your combo, but it's relevant. Like you can flash it in and tap a blocker and get extra damage in. Obviously you can pay 4 and sack it and just draw cards, or you can sack it to like a Reckoner's Bargain or something. It's not irrelevant in those decks as well, which a lot of the combo pieces in the Steel Thing World deck tend to be like do you want to be playing this, or do you just like Scale and Tooth of Criscoria? You just like playing them because it works as a combo piece, but it's just sort of a really bad card in a vacuum.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely got some relevant text, as you say. Like we can even untapping, like attacking and then untapping a surprise block is also a relevant sort of similar thing, which is pretty cool. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways that like I've seen people brewing all sorts of different color combinations, from mono blue combo to blue green, blue black, putting it in normal steel frame, putting it in Grixis. It's definitely going to be interesting to see like all that sort of stuff. Interestingly enough, pretty much there's a way you can actually make it so all your combo pieces can be searchable via Dizzy Spell as well, which is also another interesting thing, because you can get Wind Zendikon as a enchant land, you can get this guy and also Retraction Helix, can all be cool. Which is pretty interesting way to potentially take a deck.
Can we touch on how it's definitely a creature, but is for some reason just an artifact? Like it's literally an insect in the art, and the flavor text is saying how it's a cockroach, but it's just an artifact. Quality card, is it?
Quality, indeed.
I think, to be fair, the next two, I'll just let you lead on as well, because they're very much up your street.
Yeah, I'll start with Ice Cream Kitty, because, it's obviously got a fantastic name. So this is pictured a cat-shaped ice cream that's in a wafer, by the way. Very beautiful looking card. And it costs 1 and then a green and a black hybrid, so 2 mana for a 1/3 for an artifact creature food cat mutant. And it has 2 mana, sacrifice another creature or token, draw a card, activate only as a sorcery, and then the food text of 2 tap sack this creature, gain 3 life. Thing that I find interesting is not really for the food aspect per se, but that also just adds to it. Like the green-black altered deck that runs cat food combo and like cycles through its deck, I can't, my brain can't function how this fits in, but surely sacrificing the cat and looping cards and stuff like that sort of seems like it's probably right in that shell. If not that, or Aldertron. Like using this to sack golems, to draw cards, stuff like that. Seems pretty powerful effect.
Yeah, it's the like costs on it as well are like fairly reasonable for that deck as well. Like you can have this in play, like get your cat back, use 2 mana to sack your cat to draw a card, and then sack this to get your cat back. Yeah, I mean, I can see it. I wouldn't know where it fits. Yeah, obviously we've got basically one that we haven't mentioned, which is just Golden Egg. Like functional reprint Golden Egg, but it's just called something pizza, funny meme pizza or something like that. So you've got more foods in that aspect anyway. But they're just like the straight up like sack it to draw a card, whereas this gives you some value on your cat as well. And can the deck make tokens? Like, I guess the token part is maybe not irrelevant. Yeah,
the only one I can think of is Rumble, like it runs spawns, and I think from memory it runs the I'm sure does it run your search for a land, get a food, that card?
Okay, many patterns.
That's the one, many patterns.
Yeah,
which also is a token. But it's also
But even if it like had some fanatical offerings or something, maybe. There's like random tokens that make that part relevant, I guess.
But yeah, and that's only touching on them 2 decks as well, to be fair. Like obviously Alter, it makes lots of food. It makes lots of tokens generally, and then like with golems and stuff like that and it also has, as you say, fanatical offering and all that sort of stuff. But I wouldn't be surprised if, but my only thought is I don't think that deck is short of card draw. But yeah, it'd be also interesting to see, like, because it is a creature as well. Like, where else does this fit into? Like, you can pick this up with lead, for example. And it also has relevant sack creature text. So if you're playing a heavy creature deck, do you see this as something in walls, something in elves, something in walls combo maybe? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not irrelevant stuff, which is always great to see a wafered cat in everyone's deck. I don't know. And then the last one is very specific, and it's off. This is the name that I draw the line at this one. I can sort of, bygones be bygones on this one, but Anchovy and Banana Pizza is the name of the card. Let's repeat that. That is anchovy and banana pizza, because they couldn't think of anything else. Is 2 and 2 black, so 4 mana for an artifact food. When this artifact enters, destroy target creature, and then it has the food text as well. My main thought that I'm thinking for this is there's never... my understanding is there hasn't been an unconditional destroy, like sort of like thing that comes into play, like Chupacabra effect. But you could put this in... There's the deck. It's a really oldish... I say oldish deck, but mid to old deck of Ratlock. Blue-black Ratlock, which was like Archaeomancer and Ghostly Flicker and stuff like that. And it changed as of late to run Refurb Familiar and then ran Tide Blade and stuff like that. But it kind of could have that potential to be in there to have a flickered removal effect. Like you could just go Archaeomancer this and just keep nuking creatures.
I feel like generally just Tide and Blade's going to be better though, right? Given it costs half as much mana.
Yes. It probably will be, but I think the fact that it's unconditional and can just hit something, I could see it is more my... I don't know if it will, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone rocked up with, like, as I say, blue-black Ratlock and was like, oh, I'm running 2 anchovy and banana pizzas because I need to, kill something. I need to kill a rabbit.
Imagine having to write that on a deck list.
And then the last one, obviously, I'll leave to you since it seems very fitting. But this one is the only one that we picked out from the Commander set as well. So this one is not standard label.
No. So it's Utrom Monitor, which is 4 and a blue for a 3/3 flyer artifact creature. Utrom Scientist. But the main point is it has affinity for artifacts.
That keyword's never been busted before.
Basically just a strict upgrade on Somber Hoverguard. It's got 1 more toughness. It costs 1 less mana, and it's an artifact. So, like, everything that Somber Hoverguard wasn't. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good to me. I'm not sure where it fits. Like, this sort of leans more into what we were saying at the start with the Leonardo going into, like, a blue-white aggressive affinity list. Like, something like this in a Ornithopter Springleaf Drum list is pretty good.
Yeah.
Things like Lotus Petal can turn this into Delver of Secrets on turn 1 pretty easily. But yeah, I mean, Somber Hoverguard has been played in the past quite a lot, and this is just a much, much better Somber Hoverguard. Like, adding an artifact to the type line is big. Yeah,
definitely. There's definitely obviously other places, like you could also see this in, I could see this in like blue-black affinity, even in Grixis as we know it as well. I wouldn't be surprised.
You could just put it in Grixis and then just cut the Mirroring Forces.
Definitely.
And then all your threats are just like 1 mana flyers that don't die to your own Clan Shamans.
Yeah, I'm definitely big on that, to be fair. Like, Mirroring Forces, like, I wouldn't be surprised if that actually became a thing to just... Like, Mirroring Forces just getting slowly outclassed. Like, a 4/4 can be chumped by everything. Obviously...
Especially when Terra's, like, one of the better decks in the format. Like, they're playing 1 mana 5/5s. Your 0 mana 4/4s just getting stonewalled. But, yeah, when you're playing 1 mana 3/3 flyers, it sort of goes over their 5/5s. It's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty excited for that one, to be fair.
Yeah. This, I guess, sort of leads on to our next topic or extended topic from this, which is, why is this a common in a Commander deck? Like, the rarity in Commander decks is completely irrelevant other than adding cards to Pauper. So why would you choose to add a card that is clearly going to be Pauper playable through a Commander deck that is not available on Magic Online, that is a limited supply because it's not printed as much as the set? Like, but, like, what is it? Like, why are you doing this? It could just be an uncommon. The rarity is irrelevant in that set as long as it's not common.
Yeah, it's definitely an odd one, right? Because I'm sure there's... I was trying to find it before while writing the notes together, but I'm sure we've had an article about basically, obviously not including new stuff, but because most other precons were just obviously reprints. I'm sure that they did an article like saying, they won't change rarities because they changed the rarity like Go for the Throat or something in like a Commander precon.
Yeah.
I'm certain there was an article saying that we won't basically look at adding cards in Commander products or something. I'm sure
it's human Earth is beyond though, so it doesn't count. It just ignores everything else the rest of the company's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, my big concern obviously is like definitely availability from that perspective, right? So like,
well, Magic Online in particular, like this will not be available for a draft, like,
no.
and you can't buy the Commander deck on Magic Online, so they have to find an alternate way to add this to the client because it will see play.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just it's such a strange one to like try like, and then like the usual way that they obviously fix it, like they did with Baldur's Gate stuff, add it to chests. It'll be this probably the
it's
standard,
expensive.
and then that infinitely makes them expensive. Like with how many times if they add them, how many times have we talked about? Why is this person playing a fiery cannonade? Oh, because I don't want to pay 20 ticks for a breath weapon because it's really played.
Yeah.
It's like, why make it like that? But hey, we don't.
Yeah, especially as like the actual commons in the commander set, like the commander deck, because I believe that this set only has one commander deck.
All right. Okay.
It doesn't have like the 5 or whatever. I think it just has 1 5 color one.
All right.
And there's not many commons in it anyway. Most of them are reprints, and then there's just like 2 new cards that are common.
Is there?
There's this guy, and then there's a double strike spell. There might be a couple more, but there's like very few cards that are common in the deck anyway. A lot of them are reprints, like Evolving Wilds and stuff like that. I think there might even just be 1 card of each color that's a common. That's a new card.
Right.
But it's like, well, for that many, like, what's the point? Just make them uncommon. Like, make them a mythic. It's at this point it's irrelevant unless it's a common.
Yeah. So odd.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it does see a lot of, like, if it becomes the next Deadly Dispute, for example. I don't think it will, but if it did, what's the supply like on this? Like, because although it is a common, it has the exact same availability of every card in that commander deck because there's 1 in each deck. I'll be interested to know, in comparison to a common from the main set, how different the supply is, because I imagine it's much, much less.
I wonder, can you get commander stuff from like play boosters? Do you know what I mean? Like, can you get like stuff out
I
the print?
can't imagine you'll get a common.
No, I mean in general. Like, I mean generally.
Yeah.
Like, do they normally like print like the mythics and the stuff in play boosters? I actually don't know. I can't remember the last time I opened a pack, so I don't.
We need the breakdown of what is in the boosters, like that massive chart that has like seven limbs on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure.
Because I'd just be curious. Like, obviously, does this then, like, if that's the case, like, can you get basically all the rares and the mythics from the commander set in collector boosters and play boosters or whatever? But then there's these 2 commons that are new, that are actually the rarest cards because they're not in. Do you know what I mean? Because they're not in these boosters, and they're new. Like, imagine that. Like, it's just literally the rarest cards to get are these commons. So these commons are now the least common out of all of them.
It'll be it will be interesting to see what happens. Very strange thing to do. I'm assuming just basically the team making the commander deck do not talk to the team that monitors formats.
I guess then anything else that you want to add about the set? Anything, do you want to talk about how much you love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and how much you're really happy that this is in Universes Beyond, or
nothing that'll be constructive, I imagine.
All good fun. But in all seriousness, though, I'm very good at taking the flavour of Magic and just taking it as cards on text and stuff. Some of these cards...
Blacking out the art on all of this.
Blacking out the art, blacking out the... Like, do you know what I mean? Like, just thinking of it from a game perspective. I'm actually pretty excited for this set in terms of these cards. Like, some of these cards seem really strong, really interesting, and like potential to shake up the format.
Yeah, obviously we're seeing stuff like Lorwyn and Avatar sort of come to the forefront now and actually have an impact. But this looks much more relevant than both those sets, and much more relevant than Spider-Man, which we've also seen have a small impact. So be interesting to see what happens.
For sure.
They are legal for Pauper getting as well, I believe.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it's not next week, it's week after they're out, right? Pre-release next weekend, I think. Moving on. Tournament news. There's Pauperfest on the 6th of March, which is like 2 weeks away. Their ticket sales are live now. They're doing custom alters. This is like the third one or something nuts that they've done, if not more now. Obviously, you can check out the description for the ticket sales. Be a pretty good event. Maybe one day we'll end up over the pond to go to those. The Scrap King Cup is the 4th of April, £20 entry in Accrington. Winner gets a revised Savannah with also some like custom Pauper staples or something like that as part of the prizes. And not that far away from us as well. Link for that is in the description too. And then the final one, which is the London Pauper Showdown, 25th of April. This is London Pauper Showdown 4, the Darkest Ritual. Because that's matters. It was the dreaded return, I think, last time. 25th of April. This goes towards like LPI and like Geddon stuff as well. So like you can check out what that qualifies you for. Like I'm assuming it'll probably get you like a buy somewhere, or if you score many points. I think it's for the Summer Geddon. So you can check out that. The link for that is in the description with all the details. Pretty cool. And then news. This was the whirlwind. The whirlwind we were talking about. What the hell was going on here? So just as we finished recording last week, there was an announcement that Wizards, for anything below 64 players, which is kind of all that was relevant for us, will only show the top 8 deck lists for any challenge. They then give an explanation. Some person went into the Discord and gave an explanation why. Something to do with...
It wasn't a good one.
Something to do with metagames and, you know, to do with all that sort of stuff. And then they were like, right, can we have some feedback? So then obviously that meant there was an outcry from everywhere. And then there is an article that was linked on the 20th. So that was, 3 days ago? So like 5 days later, they basically sent out an article link stating that they are going to revert the change back to top 32 and, you know, as were. They're basically trying to solve the problem of Magic Online data being overrepresented versus the population size in data aggregators. Along that way, they're lost in what the representation mattered, and we moved too fast on this. So they're going to look at basically changing the way Magic Online data is represented in, like, metagame shares. I'm assuming there's formats that they don't like the way that shows. I don't know, but basically they're going to change it, but they're going to figure out how they're going to change it first.
Yeah, this was an absolute, like, just catastrophe, really, wasn't it? It's like, what are you doing? They've done it before as well, and the last time they did it, they immediately changed it back. So it's like, why are you doing something that you already know doesn't work, and then changing it back again after everyone kicks off? Because you know they're gonna, because they like the data. Like, people like seeing deck lists outside of the top 8. But I don't get the logic. They're like, oh, we want the metagames essentially to look better. But then if you look at them like Standard, the top 8s look absolutely dreadful.
Yeah. So
you're removing all the spicy stuff from the top 16 and just like focusing on this really bad looking top 8. It's like that. Yeah. There's some logic there, but it wasn't very well thought through. It wasn't very well inputted, and thankfully they've reverted it.
Yeah, it was a excuse me, it was a very strange, sudden change, to be fair as well. But
it definitely feels like, obviously, it wasn't a Daybreak decision. Like, it's been imposed on Daybreak to do this, probably from like the Arena team or something like that. I think it's probably because Standard does look bad. Every Standard set, the over push a card, that card, like a VV, breaks the format and have to ban it. And I imagine they just want less data to be available, so that card breaking the format takes longer. Is the only thing I can really think of.
Interesting.
Like, what's the reason to restrict data other than slowing down it or trying to slow down the development of a format?
But that's the thing, though, right? You're never ever gonna, like, now you're never gonna slow this down. Like, it's a product surely of its own success, right? Like Arena and Magic Online, people play mainly Arena. They play on the phones. There'll be thousands of games, like if not hundreds of thousands of games a day taking place. How are you then going to say that nobody's going to break that and nobody's going to then share that
This is the other thing I don't get. Obviously, it's because of a format. Like, it's not because of every format, because most formats they literally don't care about. So why was this blanketed over every format? Like, what is the need in reducing data on vintage deck lists or like legacy deck lists or pauper deck lists? Like, especially with it coming from Arena, like those formats aren't on Arena. So why are we now restricting those as well? Like, man, what a mess.
Yeah, it was definitely odd choices, but hopefully they'll figure out what they want to figure out and implement a good change.
I guess the silver lining is they listened to feedback. Everyone was just immediate, like, yeah, this is bad. We don't want this. We would like to see our deck lists. And they went, all right, fair enough. We'll turn it back.
Yeah. But for me, like, I don't even see, like, I always find it odd that they restrict to 32. Like, surely it's automatic, right? It automatically transcribes onto, like, the Magic Online page, right?
And they used to show 64. Yeah. They used to show them all.
Why did you show them all?
Yeah.
The more data, the better. Odd.
Yeah, especially with stuff like the interesting stuff, the brews and that. Like, they're not always at the top. Like, they're very rarely at the top.
No.
So you're essentially just deleting all these weird brews that people might try and shake up the meta with.
Like, all it takes is someone to try something. All free drop, like, right, okay, I need to change this or whatever. I might try this again in a few weeks' time. Someone sees that, someone runs with it, and that, you know what I mean? They have fun with it. They end up getting to the whatever. Like, I don't understand the whole stopping. Like, the more the better, surely, for me. It can never be bad. Hopefully they'll showcase it in a better way if that makes them happy in the future. And then the only other news is, obviously, as we discussed, Turtles is fully spoiled. Just check out for, obviously, your Magic Online creators this weekend. Obviously, they'll be talking about it, all that sort of good stuff. So a lot of the Pauper content creators and stuff will be all over this like a rash. So yeah, you can check out the Magic Online Discord and check out the like hashtag creator content side.
Are we seeing some Teasdale MTG turtle brews?
I have got some ideas. So hopefully, So anything else, Dad? Before we talk about some challenges.
No, happy to move on. The first challenge being Thursday, the 19th of February. 50 players. First place was Grixis Affinity. Second place was Mono Blue Terror. Third place was Elves. Fourth place was Ponza. Fifth was Grixis Affinity. Sixth was Dredge. Seventh was Gardens. And eighth was Jeskai Wildfire. And then the two near misses, 9th Grixis Affinity and 10th Rally Red. Jeskai Wildfire. We haven't talked about that deck in a long time.
You say that.
Like Jund just killed it off completely.
We actually talked about it last week in the sense of where the hell's Jeskai Wildfire? Jund has killed us off.
True. It's the Scred version as well, which I find quite interesting because obviously we've spoke like a few times recently about how good Scred is right now. So it makes sense that if Jeskai Wildfire was to come back into the fray, the Scred version is the one you should be playing. I also find that this deck looks very weird as a Scred deck because you need to play Artifact tap lands, and then but you also need to play snow-covered basics or snow-covered lands. But it does seem to make it work.
It's definitely running. It's sort of like, I think it's sort of like adapted to like the Jund sort of thing, right? Of I'll just run the 8 bridges and that's sort of enough for most part.
Yeah.
I'll just go from there. Obviously, Artifact lands like Jund. Definitely a bit greedy, right? But I think it's probably fine overall.
Yeah. Quite a few just like random sideboardy one-offs like Jund as well, like built in a similar way with a one-off Frame and Charm, a one-off Destroy Evil, both in the main. 2 Unions in the main and 2 Torch the Towers as like the secondary like single red removal spell. Seems very necessary given Sneaky Snacker looks like it would do a number on this day.
Definitely. You're not really bargaining it very much either. Like there's only 2 Murmur Mystics to bargain it, so it literally is for Sneaky. That sort of plugs. It does random like stop. It's quite surprising, this card, I think. Even without bargaining it as well, it's always impressed me for like a control deck. It just nubs like so many random things that you don't even think about. Like at the time when I played, it was like, oh, Clockwork Percussionist, for example. It's like, oh, you don't got your card. Like that sort of thing. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely not an irrelevant one. outside of that, though, there was nothing too spicy going on, to be honest. Basically, everything was just like stock Pauper, stock good lists, I guess.
Yeah, no, nothing too crazy.
Even the gardens just looks like an old gardens list, like cast downs, defiles, couple of snuff outs, couple of drowning sorrows in the main. Like there's nothing particularly spicy going on. Moving on to the Friday, 54 players on the Friday. First place was Rally Red, second place Rakdos Madness, third place Rakdos Madness, fourth place Grixfinity, fifth place Dredge, sixth place Grixfinity, seventh place Mono Red Madness, and eighth place Grixfinity. The comeback. And then the two near misses, ninth was Mono Red Madness and 10th was Elves. Yeah, Grixfinity. Is the return on? We had 3 copies in the top 10 on the Thursday and 4 copies on the Friday.
Yep.
Oh, 3 copies on the Friday.
3 copies on the Friday.
3 and 3.
It's definitely it's a solid deck, right? It's definitely like it's always put up. Like to be fair, the people that did well, it was either today or Thursday, were like people who you'd expect, like Bacon, masters of Pauper, but still, like the deck is strong, right? It's just a consistent deck that just can win on every angle as it. So just needs more people to rep it.
Yeah, sort of interesting that there's no Jund Wildfire there in that sort of mid-range slot, I guess, as well. It's sort of taken that space from the Jund Wildfire decks. The lists aren't even like really trying anything new. They're still just like Grixfinity lists, like as you would expect. But just having some pretty stonking results.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're probably. I wouldn't be surprised if they're all the exact same list, or if not, like 1 or 2 cards different. Yeah,
they are very similar. Outside of that, I guess Rakdos Madness as well, having a pretty good time of it. It's again one of those decks that just seem to disappear for a while and then sort of appear, but just be very, very fringe. But a double top 8 in second and third is pretty legit.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting one, right? Because it can do well against. I guess it's probably pretty good at obviously beating the Mono Red Madness players. Obviously, basically doing the same but having life gain. You can then sort of like mess around with people who are trying to mess with like Hydro and stuff. Hits them less and stuff like that. Like it's probably a good meta call generally. If obviously you expect a lot of those sort of tools, especially like Madness. If you expect Madness to be really big, it's pretty good mirror breaker, effectively, right?
Yeah, I think list-wise, for the most part, they're very similar. Like, all the creatures and the instants and sorceries are the same, bar one has a single Chain Lightning and one has a single Sazcap Sprue. Otherwise, like, the spell suites are the same. But then one's got, like, a really, like, I guess, concise mana base, or tight mana base. With just Mountain Swamps, 4 Jagged Barrens, and 3 Razor Gore Traps, or Razor Trap Gorges. The 13 Lifeland, the red one. And then the other one is just like the standard all over the place with like Rakdos Carnariums and Bajuka Bogs, alongside still the Jagged Barrens and the Gorges and the Swamps and Mountains.
Just trying to squeeze out that extra value and losing games because it's got tap lands. Basically.
But yeah.
Yeah, really, really solid. I really like the third place list has gone with the like more modern Dark Withering tech as well. Sort of good big clean kill spell answer sort of thing. Very good.
But yeah, outside of that, again, everything is very stock at the moment. There's nothing too spicy going on. Moving on to the Saturday challenge where the spice begins. First place was Banned Corgates, or 4-colored Corgates.
Yeah.
Second place, Grixfinity. Third place, Jeskai Wildfire. Fourth place, Mono Red Madness. Fifth place, Jund Wildfire. Sixth place, White Weenie. Seventh place, Elves. And eighth place, Grixis Control. And then the 2 near misses, Green Red Ramp in 9th and another copy of Rakdos Madness in 10th. Many, many mid-range decks have arrived for this one. I guess starting with the Jeskai Wildfire again, it's the exact list from the Thursday, right? Is it even the same pilot? I have closed my Thursday, so I'm not sure. But
don't think so. What position was it in? 8th? No, it wasn't.
No, but the exact same list. So I'm assuming just took it from that Thursday result. The call gates, 4 colour gates, has Squadron Hawking, so I suppose it is call gates. 2 Rancors. That is definitely a card to play an entire additional colour for, I guess.
You're missing the important one. It's also running 4, as we preluded to, for Open the Gates.
Yeah, that sort of makes sense.
Yeah. Which, for those who don't know what it is, it's basically like a Tomb with Ether Caravan Vigil effect, but you can search for a basic land and or a gate and you put it in your hand. So it's like an extra 4 copies of Basilisk Gate.
This is like what we were talking about like recently with
the Naya Gate,
like,
right?
Basically playing call gates but splashing Gate Creeper Vine, so you've got just more Basilisk Gates. Sorcery, not a creature, cost 1 less. I'm not sure which is really better, but this is sort of essentially that same thing. You're splashing to open the gates basically to grab Basilisk Gates, because your mana base being a bunch of like either filter lands or lands that you can choose what colour they are. The splash is essentially free. And then 2 Rancor as like an additional. But outside of that list, outside of those changes, it's just a Corgate list, right? There's nothing spicy going on.
No, it's cut obviously some cards to make space for them, but questionable cuts as well. But it's sort of like it's added 4 mana gates as well, which is sort of like its way of helping that, which I'm not really a fan of. Other than that, like it's still got the 2 Azorius skill gates as well, so it's like almost like it's cut untapped.
It's cut basics, and it doesn't run the dual land, right? The type dual, because obviously it doesn't have Lorians in. Lorians is a cut for open the gates. So the type dual and an island and a plains or something like that has been cut to fit mana gates in. Which I'm not like 100% even need for. Because you've obviously got 4 sea gates, you've got 4 citadel gates, you've got 2 heap gates, all that add green anyway.
Like, for me, I'd probably just...
Not on that much green.
I'd probably would just, if I was that bothered about running these, I'd probably just cut the Azorius skill gates from like the normal mana base and just run 2 mana gates. You're probably equal enough. Like, that's, what, 10 sources of green? Yeah.
Although, like, with cutting the Lorians, the dual land makes less sense. It's your thing that you're replacing a Lorian is. With the open the gates, can just get a gate anyway. So you don't need that, but I do see what you mean. But, and then sideboard, it still plays Red Elemental Blast. So it still is splashing the red. It's made no change to play the red cards. Like, I guess it's got the extra mana gates now, so it's even more free than it is normally. But yeah, there's
the 2 things that like thing to me about this deck is the one thing that I don't like about the cut is it's only run 2 Brainstorms, so you've got Open the Gates, which also sort of Lorien adjacent, so you've still got sort of similar shuffle effects and all that sort of stuff. But then you're running 2 Brainstorms. Like, to me, that card advantage is like a strong part of that deck. But it is also running 4 Outlaw Medics, which, like, I can sort of kind of get behind because you've got 8 gates. So your Basilisk gates are online quicker and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I can sort of get behind that. But, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the cuts, like 2 Brainstorms, 2 counterspells as well. Like, they are some odd cuts.
Gotta make room somewhere.
What's your thoughts on Rancor? Like, I get the idea behind like the trample, and recursive and all that sort of stuff. Like, I get behind it. Like, do you think it's better than Armadillo Clock in that sense?
I would say so, because like a lot of you guys just naturally have lifelink anyway. With the cats and the outlaw medics, obviously costs much less than Armadillo Cloak, and is recursive. Like, you put it on a cat, they kill the cat, you get the Rancor back. You put it on the next cat. I think it's quite a wise choice for a deck like this, to be honest. I don't know whether it, like, obviously they've still got the 2 Guardians of the Guild pack in. I don't know how much the Rancor, like, removes the need for the Guardian. Because it's sort of the same effect. It's like the evasive thing. Obviously the Guardian's harder to kill, but you've got Outlaw Medics, which replace themselves. You've got Cats, which come back, and you've got Squadron Hawks that get more Squadron Hawks. So, like, your threats aren't that easy to, like, answer anyway. You're just going to have another threat. So I'm not sure if Rancor is sort of solving the same problem that Guardian is trying to solve. But I do like it. Like, Custom 1 is big, recurring is big, and you can basically, whatever you put it on is going to be relevant. Like, even if you just rancor a Squadron Hawk and don't pump it with a gate, like a 3-1 flyer is quite a quick clock.
It also seems pretty relevant with obviously the increase in tap lands, right? Like, obviously, it's much easier to squeeze in 1 mana here and there when all your lands are pretty much tapped.
Yeah.
Which is another semi-relevant thing. Yeah.
My only, other thought is, Modern Age. Can you not, if you're playing an entire another colour, is Modern Age still the best thing you can be doing? Like, would you not rather have the more brainstorms and counter spells or some green cards or something? I don't know. Modern Age always just feels like a bit of a weird one in these lists. Like, it has a lot of value. Like, you've still got the 4 strands and the 4 cats, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, right? But yeah,
I always find it funny that they don't really utilise the green outside of those 6 cards either. Like, the sideboard has 1 Cerulean Gatekeepers and that's it. Like, there's no other green cards.
I also find that's
red is 3 blasts and that's it.
Like, the Gatekeeper also seems odd to me as well. Like, it doesn't even seem necessary. Like, you've got 8 lifelink creatures, a Rancor, and 8 Basilisk Gate. Why are you bothered about a Cerulean Gatekeeper?
I guess just an extra.
But
yeah.
You're also running 4 Bebs though as well. So it's like 4 Bebs plus Cerulean Gatekeeper. Like, is that necessary?
Red, yeah.
But yeah, definitely an interesting thing. I like the fact that they've still kept the red. I like the open the gate. The mana base probably needs some work. I do think I like the Rancor. Obviously, it's definitely pretty obnoxious when you are killing the 1/1s or the annoying guys. But I think your point is right. Obviously, I don't necessarily think the Guardian's necessary. Surely you could probably put like your brainstorms, your counter spells back in, or even replace it with other annoying-ish creatures.
Yeah.
There's definitely something there that you don't need the Guardian for. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Moving on to the 8th place list, the sort of Grixis control. It's sort of similar to the Corgates where it's blue-black control, but has red in the sideboard because it's fairly free for the Pyroblast. Yeah, it's a weird one, this, because it's sort of like the old blue-black terror lists, but then it also just looks like a teachings list as well. Like, the numbers are all over the place with, 1 Crypt Incursion, 2 Force Spikes, 1 Nihil Spellbomb, 1 Thorn. There's 2 Behold the Multiverse.
Yeah, it's sort
very
of like
random cards.
It's like that, blue-black control terror deck, of old, right? Where it's just I'm going to cast random spells and then eventually my terrors will be cheaper. It, doesn't run any Thought Scours or Mental Notes or whatever. But then it chose then even weirder card choices to add to it. It already ran odd card choices previously, but then added Force Spike and Crypt Incursion and, the red. I guess Spellbomb in the main as well. Seems odd.
Yeah, Force Spike in particular is such an strange one to me in this list. But yeah, I don't know, it's weird. I would have normally called it blue-black terror, but it doesn't look like a blue-black terror list. It's not playing Sneaky Snacker either. And then 4 Ponder as well sort of stands out as we're not used to seeing 4 Ponder in Pauper, or there's no preordains, it's just straight 4 Ponder.
Yeah, it's very, very odd. The red splash, obviously, as you alluded to there, is for Pyroblast in the sideboard. They have the 1 Fjord in the main, which can be picked up by Lorien. And then it has a mountain in the sideboard, which can be got off their Grixis Landscape. Which is definitely pretty free. That's a reasonable amount of sources, right?
Yeah. Especially when it's just for Pyroblast, you're going to be going fairly long in a game where you're playing Pyroblast anyway, I would imagine. But yeah, it's, again, quite an interesting list. Just, I'm not really sure where it lies. It seems like a very halfway house between an actual control list and a terror list. Yeah. Especially with the Force Spike. The Force Spike's fully thrown me off.
Yeah, it's definitely an odd one, right? The Force Spike is definitely, I don't even know. They couldn't think, they were definitely ratcheting around for 1 mana interaction. They're I guess Force Spike will be fine. It works in Mono Blue Terror. What could go wrong? But yeah, it's got that as I say, the terror sort of stuff, but it's sort of Izzet. It's terror, right? But blue-black is how I see it. With your weird Behold the Multiverses and your random tech choices. Well, yeah. The threat choices, not nothing either, but 2 Murmuring Mystics, 1 Thorn, and then 4 Terrors, and then 4 Augurs to follow it. It's control-esque, but as you say, the force spikes definitely scream, I'm an aggro deck, going to try and kill you as fast as possible. Not, let's make the game go long, hit your land drops, and then my force spike is relevant.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, like, interesting to see all these just mid-range piles coming together. Obviously, we've got one Jund Wildfire now. But yeah, very Grixis / mid-range heavy, and not much Jund Wildfire going about. Which carries through onto the Sunday challenge as well. Sort of more of the same.
I want to mention the 9th place green-red ramp deck. Sorry.
All right, okay, yeah.
Just quickly, there's nothing too crazy in the main deck. It's more the sideboard that intrigues me. Like, as of late, the sideboards have been very much either life gain heavy or like cast in the fire sort of interaction style of things. But this is sort of just omitted all of that and just went 4 vines, 4 horrific assault, and then 4 relics, 3 breath weapons. It's like, all right, this will catch everything. And it's like, I want to not die to removal, and then I want to interact with the unfair stuff. Other than that, I'm not bothered. Pretty odd choice. I just thought it's interesting to run 4 Ramthroughs, 4 horrific assault, and then 4 vines in the 75.
Yeah.
It's quite a lot of
Yeah. Especially for a deck that is 28 creatures.
Yeah.
And like 24 mana sources.
Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, that was all.
Moving on to the Sunday challenge. Again, more of the same, a lot more mid-range, not much Jund Wildfire. First place, Mono Blue Terror. Second place, Grixis Affinity, once again. Third place, Rakdos Madness. Fourth place, Mono Red Madness. Fifth place, Elves. Sixth place, Boros Moxite. Seventh place, Bant / 4-color Corgates. And 8th place, Jeskai Corgates. And then the two near misses is 9th and 10th, a pair of Mono Blue Terrors. Corgates? And I guess in a mid-range metagame, Corgates is a pretty good place to be. Touching on the Jeskai one, the 8th place one, is actually Jeskai, because it has red cards in the main deck. It's got 2 breath weapons in the main. It's also got some interesting choices that you don't normally see in Corgates. There's a 1-of Thraben Inspector in the main, just like chilling, as like instead of a Guardian, instead of a second Guardian, there's just 1 Thraben Inspector. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Only 2 journeys, I'm assuming, to make room for these breath weapons as like another removal spell. It does seem very strange to put the Thraben Inspector in and then go, I'm going to put 2 breath weapons in as well. Like, that is not a combo that is going to work well for you.
That's a choice.
The rest of it is fairly Corgate. It's got the 1-of Deep Analysis, which some of them are made, but obviously is very good with the modern age. 1-of Spell Pierce is like another interaction piece, but only 2 counter spells again. But then the sideboard is quite interesting as well. But I guess touching on the mana base, they've sort of done similar to what we touched on with the Bant one. They've added a Cliff Gate as like an extra red source. They've added an extra Heap Gate, but they've cut what you suggested, which is the 2 Azorius skill gates.
Yeah.
Instead of, they've still got Lorien, so they've still got the Idyllic Beachfront, and a bunch of islands.
Makes sense.
Again, a bunch of basic islands and no basic planes with the Thraben Inspector. Also interesting. But yeah, the sideboard, 2 Cleanse and Wildfire as a sideboard card. Pretty cool. Especially, again, in a mid-range meta, you've just been against like other Corgate lists, being able to snipe Basilisk Gates from other Corgate lists in a mirror is pretty sick.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously good against the red-green ramp list as well, putting wild growths and stuff on. I imagine they're going to be expecting a Wildfire from a Corgates list, so pretty cool. 2 Crimson Fleet Commodore, which is something we have sort of seen before, but not for a while in Corgates. Interesting to pick the red one over the blue one, but I guess the red one has built-in evasion, which is obviously very good with Basilisk Gate anyway.
Yeah.
And you're probably not bringing it in a matchup where it's going to die to Bolt, so sort of irrelevant. Does die to your own breath weapon, but again, if you're keeping your breath weapon in, you're probably not bringing this guy in.
Yep.
I guess you could change your breath weapon to Cannonade, and then you could then bring it in, and he wouldn't die. But
Big brain.
But the real card that I haven't seen before in Corgates at all is one of makeshift munitions.
That's why the Thraben Inspector's there.
As fodder for munitions, double fodder for munitions. Yeah, a very cool one. Like there isn't a lot of fodder, but the stuff that is there is usually like a couple of things. Like obviously the Outlaw Medic replaces itself. The cat you can bring back. The Squadron Hawk, as we touched on, brings loads of Squadron Hawks. Like,
are you ready for why?
Fodder.
I don't know the reason. I don't know the matchup, but this is why they have cut the Azorius Guild Gate for a heaped gate. So there's 3 heaped gates, and they're just going to go Ameka Treasure. Like, they're going to go Turbo Fog style. Amek Treasures, Amek Treasure, Amek Treasure, Amek Treasure, makeshift missions. Pew, 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 pew.
To be fair, as we're looking at it, there's obviously a lot of mid-range decks in these 4 challenges. That makes a lot of sense. Like, in a grindy matchup where you go, I'll make Treasure for 5 turns and then play munitions, it's going to do some pretty heavy lifting.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, really, really cool take on Corgates. Again, well, I guess closer than the Bant one to just a stock Corgate, but gone obviously a lot heavier on the red rather than just the free splash.
My one thing that definitely, the only one that I can't explain is definitely that Thraben Charm. Thraben Inspector, sorry, not the Thraben Charm. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, I'm not going to lie, I think you're close to it with the munitions.
Like,
I guess if you want another threat that is Outlaw Medic, Sacred Cat, Squadron Hawk-esque, it's not a jump to land on Thraben Inspector.
Yeah, I guess.
It's just a guy that replaces itself.
Do you know what we need? The Kithkin guy.
When it dies, it comes back as a 1/1. Yeah, I mean, like, you could sort of end up on that.
But Thraben Inspector. And not even Novice Inspector. Thraben Inspector has worse art.
Nah.
I hate Thraben Inspector. I hate Thraben Inspector art. It's awful.
The best one.
He's like just staring at his hand. It's like me on Valentine's weekend after I burnt my hand, just staring at it. What?
No, it's Eldrazi.
Looks odd.
Moving on to the other Corgates list. Basically the same as the list from the previous challenge with the 4 opener gates, the 2 Rancors. I actually think it is the exact same list.
Yeah,
to be fair.
it is.
But yeah, good weekend for Corgates or list gate decks, I guess. Yeah, gates in general. I feel like they are Corgates because they all run Squadron Hawks and Gate and Brainstorm.
Not many though. They need 4, not 2.
But yeah, very cool. Obviously, like super mid-range tilted that I didn't really expect us to be like full slanting into mid-range, and not Jund Wildfire either, just non-Jund Wildfire mid-range decks.
Especially considering, like, I would say was it the Friday? That was quite like aggro slanted, like Mono Red Madness, Rakdos Madness, Rally Red Win. Madness and Elves sort of in 9th and 10th as well. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's quite aggressively slanted to then go Saturday, Sunday, very mid-rangey.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you want to touch on any of the other lists?
It was the other Elves list. Sorry, there was an Elves list I want to mention that they ran 3 Webweaver Changelings, but that was it. But yeah, they ran 3 Webweaver Changelings.
I think we're past that one now.
Yeah, I'm just more annoyed that they've run Webweaver Changeling. It's the hill I'll die on.
To be fair, like, as a Elves side note, a lot of them have been trying Truffle Snout since Sheep played it basically and did really well. Not a bad person to follow if you are like an Elves at the moment. Usually on the pretty sharp edge of what's good.
And Truffle Snout is a baller of a card in compared to a 5-mana 3/5 with reach do nothing.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool one. No, but that's it. Moving on to our listener question. I was just tabbing out. I was on the wrong tab. Moving on to our listener question from Phyrexian Weeb. Their question is sort of related to it's very related to TMNT, which is, do you think White Weenie will take a more prominent place in the metagame with the new Leonardo Big Brother from... That's it? That's the question?
I think it might end up developing into 2 versions of White Weenie. As we sort of spoke about when we spoke about the card at the start, I think just in White Weenie as it is now, it doesn't fit very well. But if you change it back to like Squadron Hawk, Bugler, style white weenie, it fits a lot better. So I could see it splitting white weenie into two, like the ones that do play it and the ones that don't. As for it taking a more prominent place in the meta, probably not, to be honest. I don't think it's that good in white weenie to like shift it from just being, I don't know, like a tier 2 deck, basically. I don't think it's going to push it up to like Terror, Madness, Rally, Jund Wildfire, Grixis Infinity heights.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I don't think it's going to break white weenie for sure. I don't know. My big thing is with white weenie is it seems like the players of white weenie are very reluctant to change their deck. Like, look how long Spider-Man cards or, you know, Summon Choco Mob took to actually like be implemented, or even Pack Beast. All these cards seemed pretty good in white weenie that people should try them. And it's like nobody tried them. It's like, no, I like what I have. But
I think, to be fair, this is probably more interesting than all those cards. But yeah, I do see your meaning.
Yeah, so I feel like nobody. I also don't feel like anyone's who doesn't play white weenie is gonna pick up white weenie because of this card.
No, probably not.
As well. So I don't think it'll be more prominent.
They're really like Leonardo or whatever he's called. Is that the one?
Yeah. It's called Leonardo.
Maybe they're these mythical new players that have been brought to Magic by their love for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they really want to play a Leonardo deck.
That's why I'm here. It's the only reason why I'm here. But yeah, I don't think so. I think it will eventually trickle into white weenie, but I don't think it'll take any more of a metagame share, I don't think.
I'm more excited to try it in this Glitters Brew, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's definitely one for the video, for sure. One of the first ones I'll be trying, for sure. That and some weird cam combo thing. My little artifact.
Oh, the surveillance cockroach thing, yeah.
We're excited.
It's alright, it's only going to be like £5,000 on Magic Online. Oh, no, that's just a Ucrom, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, there we go. Anything else?
No, that's it from me.
That is all from us at Cast and Comments. Thank you all for your continued support. Do not forget to tell your friends, your family, and your local herpetoculturist. That's a mouthful. Until next time, and don't forget to stay hydrated. Peace!
Bye.